episode. It's your host, Preston, aka SB Press. Again, if you're looking for me at this point, you should know where to find me. But if you don't, it's at Compadres for the Instagram and it's at SB Press for Snapchat. And today, I got a special guest in, and also this individual. I guess this is gonna fill in the blank for everyone who's trying to figure out who the silhouettes are for the logo. This individual is one of the silhouettes, and through time, hopefully your imagination will be able to fill in the blank on which one of the silhouettes it is. But thanks, Alex, for coming through today.
Alright, you suck.
I appreciate you,
I wasn't
brother.
gonna choose my. Yeah, I'm the silhouette. That's all I was gonna say. But you ruined.
They have to still figure out which one you are, and in due time, questions have been asked, so everybody wants to know like who we are,
Shit,
where we're from, how we met, and we'll get into that. But today, I definitely, before we get into that episode, because it's gonna be really, really intense, I want to get into another intense subject since sports is really taking over right now. The fact that some people, and there's some arguments that strengthen them. Some people think sports is fake or rigged, and I I disagree in some areas. There's some areas where I agree, but today we're gonna have an open conversation based on that. And I think I want to start off with wrestling. Alex, how do you feel about wrestling?
Feel great, man. Feel great, brother.
Feel pretty good, brother.
Oh man, shit. Man, I mean, like I said, man, wrestling is fake to an extent, but you can't fake those injuries, because these people are really taken out. You see them being carried out.
There's been people who's been killed in the ring.
Exactly, so it's fake to an extent. I mean, they ain't really slamming each other that hard into the floor. I mean, because they're slamming each other.
It's choreographed, but they do go through injuries.
It's just,
So wouldn't you say that kind of adds to the realness to it?
I would say it's an action play.
Okay.
But yeah, the wrestlers really be. You're gonna tell me Mankind was fake with a pin in his head?
No.
He got tombstone. Yes, his head might have never hit the mat. That would is fake. But the pins are real. It's stuck on his head is real.
I seen a pin in his nose, and it wasn't in his nose like put in his nose as a prop. It was like an opposite crooked direction, like it was impaled through. And again, like you have Owen Hart who lost his life in the ring and stuff like that. There was a gentleman who just recently had passed away. I'm unaware of his name at the moment, but there was a gentleman who passed away in the ring as well. And there's a lot of other things that they don't discuss to the media, about what's really going on in these things. There's someone dying in each sport probably every time.
Yeah.
And we're unaware of it. So
they don't care about the people like that. They don't care about their. I don't know what it would be. I guess it would be their asset. Would be the word.
Their asset. I guess you could say they're trying to protect their asset and their endorsements and stuff like that. A lot of people are endorsed by children's hospitals or just different things in general. To where of course, it's all about money, but at the same time, lives are on the line, which goes into my next question. Do you think that people throw away games and stuff like that? Gambling and all that stuff does exist in all sports, but do you think that there's a professional athlete right now playing a game and half of his mind is on the game, but the other half on his mind is kind of like trying to throw the game away for people's bets or fantasy leagues or, over and under coverages and stuff like that? Do you think the athletes are in on those type of things?
Though, like the rest of the team? Probably not. But maybe they know because, it is their teammate. They know they're... I don't know, man. But people do gamble, and there's organizations out there that are gonna make sure you pay up your bet.
Yeah. I mean, this also goes into the situation with the, rest in peace to Michael Jordan's father, and no disrespect, but supposedly,
Yeah, supposedly, which I doubt, but
yeah, that situation, supposedly cost him his father's life, gambling and betting and stuff like that. So, I don't know.
see, I doubt it. One, because it's Michael Jordan. There's no bet that he didn't win. I mean, and he had the money to pay it off. You know, so killing his father for, oh, you owe us this much, and I mean, I'm gonna win. I'll pay you back. You know.
I don't know. It's a risky situation, and again, from what I've heard from the situation was, I mean, I guess there's some bets that
That's
money
true.
can't pay
That's true.
off.
That is true.
There's some debts that money can't pay off,
That is true.
and certain situations do unfortunately cost people their
Talking about
lives.
Illuminati, he sacrificed his father to make it that big. I don't know, that'd be crazy.
I don't know about that.
Hey, you
one.
want to talk conspiracies? Might as well go going deep.
I don't know about that one. I mean, sports conspiracies is one thing, but then I mean, Illuminati, I guess to a certain extent it exists, but then how obvious is it, or how covered up is it? Like, is it so blind? Like, is it so right in our face that it's just blind to our eyes?
Why not? There's a lot of things that are obvious, are so obvious that you don't know you know them, which is crazy.
Like, give me an example of a conspiracy.
Oh, I wasn't talking about conspiracy, but sports wise, or
Yeah,
it's not even a conspiracy. It's just a saying by Plato, I believe that's his name. It's just breads and bread and games. Just to keep the people entertained, so they don't know what the politicians are doing. That's what I always been thinking ever since I've read that. Didn't really, I heard it, audiobooks. But yeah, made sports made a lot more sense. Because just look at the COVID right now. Everything was closed. Sports kept on going.
It's a lot of money involved into it, so of course they're gonna try to.
It's a lot of money in their players being alive.
Yes, there's that too, but I mean there's no dollar amount for a life. So the fact that sports is still going on, but yet this situation's evolving, getting worse and stuff like that. It's like, how do we know everybody in that arena right now is completely COVID free?
Exactly. And they're willing to kill those people just for a buck.
And I get it. A lot of these entertainment businesses are invested, millions upon millions of dollars. But then, again, a life is priceless.
So yeah, are they rigged? I don't know, man. They can be. I mean, I played sports before.
Do you feel like your team or anybody?
I played in a team that I would pass the guy the ball, and it would look like he missed on purpose. And he would say, "Oh, it's just having fun." But hey, man, shit, if it's fun in games, I mean, we're trying to win this game. Don't be missing my passes. You suck.
It's fun to win the game.
Sit down.
Yeah, I've never experienced somebody trying to actually sabotage the game or do little things like that. I witnessed selfishness or individuality in the game and stuff like that, like a one man thing in a team sport. But I've never had somebody purposely try to do something to cost us the game. And it was not even that it was blatantly obvious, but even noticing it is something like that would be what the hell? I never had that experience. So even in this situation with referees and stuff, how they they call the game
And the
certain
referees
ways
too.
and stuff
There
like
you go.
that.
And that's another point that could be rigged too. I mean, it ain't hard to pay off a ref. How much can they win? Yo, you just look the other way in this foul.
And there has been refs, caught up in history, for, calling the game certain ways and stuff
Yeah.
like that. But I feel I can't say every single game that's played is that way. Like in football, it takes a lot of intangibles for a team to actually rig the game so that they lose or even in the situation win.
Well, here's something to think about. Because I was just thinking about it since it says football. Don't you think it's rigged how football being a full contact sports, and I get it, it's for the betterment for the protection of the player, but again, being a full contact sports, don't you think it's rigged where you can't be full contact?
No, I feel like the game has advanced for more of a protection and safety cause because they're still trying to get parents and youth to still be involved with the sport and stuff like that. So yeah, they're kind of changing some of the rules to make the game not as
dangerous.
Yes.
Okay, so perfect. Who's being protected? The kid or the parents? Because remember, as a child, you have to get hurt.
Yes.
Look at it as a rite of passage.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's you get tossed into the wolves and you're getting bit up, and then you come out and you're stronger, right? You come out of a game with a busted lip or something like, man, I gotta really cover my face next time.
I guess that's the game. No pain, no gain.
Right? And those when you get hit, next time you learn to look and block. Things that you gotta learn, So I get it, it sucks because I used to get hurt too, I've been hit, sliding right, clicks right to the shin by the side of the leg. Thought my shit was broken. It could have been broken, but thankfully nothing, right? Again, but hey, next time, I just
not everybody has that X factor to be like Gatorade.
Sit down,
get up and play through it, or sit down and
no. I mean, don't play then. I mean, if
you're scared, go to church.
Pretty much. Yeah, I mean, how are you gonna say, I want to go hunting, but just say I'm scared to go hunting? I mean, yeah.
You got to overcome your fear at some point in time, so it can't be one.
It's not even overcoming because you don't overcome fear. Fear's always there, but you got to learn how to face it.
I agree.
You got to learn how to face it because that's what's gonna push you on. Fear is always gonna be there. You don't conquer fear. Just don't let it freeze you. Back to the conspiracy things, though.
Yeah.
We digress. Yeah, I mean, there's been easy shots too by players that you can say, and I get it too. Sometimes, man, I suck too, man. The easy shots I miss.
I mean, sometimes. I believe in some people. Not everybody is good under pressure.
No, see, here's the thing. So, okay, Kobe, Michael, all right?
Yes.
Ronaldinho, Messi, supposed to be in the same tier of the best among their peers, right?
Yes.
Ronaldinho hit the ball from the outside of the square to the rail 3 times, like nothing. Messi could, put the ball wherever he wants. That's just Jay, Michael that's his magic. Kobe does his magic.
Mm-hmm.
Because they practice all that extra practice.
Repetition, yes.
They missed, 10 out of 100? So
90% though?
Exactly.
90%.
And you're gonna tell me people that want to be like them and keep practicing are gonna just miss 90% of the time? Not even half? Well, I know it ain't true because I mean, there's a lot of people like that who what's his face.
Some
right
people
there.
have natural talent though.
And the guy with the 3-pointers, they always
Steph
you know,
Curry. Yeah, some
they-
people have really good natural
Yeah.
talent, and repetition does help. But for some people, they're good. Like for me, I came up playing with somebody who he was Steph Curry before Steph Curry. Like my homie Chubby was shooting from like we used to be like, why are you shooting from far? Why are you shooting from far? But like his repetition got him comfortable to where that was a regular shot. You know, that became like damn near a free throw for him. So it's just like with certain people, there's repetition, and like okay, he was able to practice that and get really good at it. I tried doing that and practice that. I wasn't as such good at it. So with some people, natural talent plays a factor over that, over repetition. Repetition adds to the natural talent, though. Do you agree?
Yeah.
But I didn't let that stop me.
Exactly.
I through repetition and just practice and practice and practice, without having a natural talent for it, I developed the skills to be able to do it.
See, well, I guess forget because I guess we're through with the conspiracy thing. Because I mean, that's all I had to say about it. So, okay, on this topic what would you rather be in sports wise? Say you're in the basketball team.
Mhm.
Rather be a master at 3-pointers or a tradesman of all shots?
I'd rather be a tradesman of all shots because once you get me out of my comfort zone from doing what I'm great at, I have to fall back on everything else that I'm good at. And if I'm not really good at anything else, then I'm a liability. So for me, again, when it came to when it came to basketball, I had to be a Swiss Army knife. I'm not the tallest person in the gym. You know, I'm not the best shooter. I'm not tall, so like height plays a factor. But with that playing a factor, it made me, I guess, it made me work on everything else to be decent at everything, to where I'm not out of place if I can't do what I'm really good at. Like for me, I'm a good person to drive the ball to the hole. I'm a good person to initiate offense. I'm a good person to like catch and shoot and stuff like that. I can play without having the ball. I can play with having the ball. So for me, I just learn to be versatile at all times because there's gonna be certain people who need to have the ball in their hands all the time to be a part of the game or to do what they do good. So yeah, I guess if that answers your questions, my thing was just to try to be the Swiss Army knife, be good at at a lot of different things instead of being great at one. I mean, let me ask you the same question. In soccer,
Exactly.
when you play soccer, did you just try to be good at scoring a goal or good at stopping a goal, or did you try to understand dribbling and passing and
Cause see, that's how I see everything. That's how I see everything. Whenever I'm at work, you should try to do everything. Learn as much as possible. Not only because I mean, I was a defense player, I was a midfielder, and I was goalie for a bit. Goalie was my favorite. Goalie was change the topic, just derail.
Derailer.
Goalie was my best out of for on the Eagle side. That was my favorite position for my Eagle. Because when you block a shot, it's just amazing. Like, hell yeah, man, you suck. Can't get through me.
You feel
so
like
it's
Superman.
just a little boost of ego.
Okay.
But yeah, that was the best. For sure.
Now, would you say, going back to how this episode started, would you say there was shots that you kind of like just turned the cheek for?
But I never really took shots.
No, I mean as far as like shots coming your way as a goalie. Were there any ever shots that you kind of like didn't give your full effort or gave up on? Because then that would go also into your argument of saying, sports is rigged, which means you gave up on a play which did not benefit your team. It benefited the other team.
No, because we've been losing by a lot, and I still be blocking shots. Whenever I would try to block them for sure. Because at the end, it was if the team don't want to lose. I mean, don't want to win. I don't want to lose that bad.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, whatever they want to do, it's I guess them. But
I think the main thing that I want to kind of ask you with the whole sports being rigged thing, from your perspective, is do you think that this NFL season where it's at right now, I'll explain it. Well, the Buccaneers just lost to the Rams, right? The LA Rams. Yesterday, the Green Bay Packers lost as well. And Aaron Rodgers was, MVP favorite. They were expecting him to go all the way to the Super Bowl, possibly win the Super Bowl this year. Same thing with Tom Brady. He's 44. He's up there in age, but he's the living GOAT in the NFL right now, stuff like that. And then you got like Patrick Mahomes. This is about to be if he wins and stuff like that and wins out, be his third consecutive Super Bowl in a row. He's a new up and coming person to take the torch from Tom Brady and stuff like that. With the Super Bowl being here in LA, do you think that the league is trying to do as much as possible to make it possible for the LA Rams to get to the Super Bowl so they can maximize as much money, internal and external, from the game? Now, hear me out. I know I just asked you a question, but hear me out. Super Bowl's in LA. Why wouldn't I want the team that's from here to represent the Super Bowl to where we can maximize out on tourists coming in and out, just restaurant traffic, hotel traffic, even just rental car and gas station and just traffic on the damn freeway, people traffic. Do you think the NFL is trying to rig it so that LA can get there? Since you feel that, sports are rigged. Because the Rams just beat Mr. Tom Brady, Mr. 7 Super Bowls. And he's close to basically retiring.
Are they out?
Rams are out. I mean, the Rams are in. Bucks are out. Tom Brady's out. What are your thoughts?
How high is the chance that LA would make it? As just games and stats. That's a sportsman. Because, I don't follow this.
It's pretty high because I believe...
Are they good?
Yes, I believe the next team that they have to play is the 49ers. Because 49ers have beat the Green Bay Packers. They beat Aaron Rodgers and Green Bay Packers. And it's funny, this year we're going to have an MVP between two players that are no longer in the playoffs anymore. So, yeah.
Man, they might win just to punish the Niners for what Kaepernick did, for kneeling down. They might still be doing that.
I never thought of it that way. I think, I don't know, because I just would think that the franchise will have moved past that situation.
Here's a question, because I can't really answer that because I don't follow sports. If you just ask me, and then yeah, they're all rigged,
All right,
that's my thought. But so, what do you think? What's making you think these questions that, I guess, what's making you doubt that they are not rigged, or what is this going around in your head?
I don't think sports. Well, I don't think all sports and majority of sports are rigged. But when it comes to the NFL, I just feel like it's too many intangibles. Like, I can understand the referees being like one-sided on calls and stuff like that. The game's in the hands of the referees. They don't call all the penalties and stuff or whatever. But I do kind of see the catch-22 on if certain teams make it all the way to the end and how much the NFL could probably financially benefit off of it to strengthen people's conspiracy theories. I see that. But it's kind of hard for me to really fully agree because it's just like there's too many men out there who are playing to be able to play the next game or even next year or take care of their family. So when it comes to saying it's like, rigged, it's kind of hard for me to say like players are in on the rigging it part, missing tackles or missing certain plays because I just feel like,
You
there's
can't see it.
it's more jeopardy on the line. You would lose more than what you would gain. That's what I
Would
see.
you? Not sports, but Dave Chappelle says it. That's why Prince changed his name because they just call him the artist. Remember, it's a contract. They signed a contract too. Who knows? You know what that contract says.
You think he changed his name to breach the contract?
No. I'm talking about your conversation,
Mm-hmm.
your thought. How they could get rigged and how a player would be in on it. It's in the contract. You sign your contract. You do this or we're gonna bench you. I mean, you're still getting paid, but you ain't gonna play. And now, you said there's a lot of guys playing. Are they doing it for the money or are they doing it for the love of playing in the big leagues? And the money just happens to come along.
Yeah. There's a lot of people who have passion for the sport regardless of what they're making.
Because they put in the effort. They know they deserve it. But again, those guys that want the earning and are working for it won't feel salty when they lose. If anything, they'll just get harder so they can earn it.
Yeah.
And when they earn the championship, that trophy is really what.
Well, that's what I would presume that everyone's playing for, which strengthens your legacy. Nobody wakes up or nobody wants to be a professional athlete from the age of 7 to get all the way there to rig the games for others. At least in my opinion. I would think, damn, if I'm a 7-year-old, I want to go to the league. I'm going to do my best to do that, and I want to go to the league for multiple reasons. I want to go to the league to play against the best of the best in the world, to take care of my family and get them out of poverty and stuff like that, to help my community and help others. And then also to just, like, again, build my legacy, make my last name mean something, and then just give back to what's given to me. So it's it's so many different elements for me to kind of like really absorb why somebody would want to rig it.
I'm gonna break that because you're at 7. You're 7. You're practicing. At that time, you don't even think about money, unless you're being told by somebody else, "Oh, it would be amazing if you make it because you're gonna win a lot of money." You literally just
the media is showing these contracts very often. That's why we're getting more kids playing baseball. The media shows the contracts.
That's right now. That's okay. Right now. Right now, we don't know what they're signing, and back then, they didn't even know a lot less. Mm-hmm. Back then, I'm sure some of them still ain't getting paid what they should be getting paid. Because whatever they get endorsed is a lot more than what they're getting paid, I'm sure. Mm-hmm. But still, man. Because I see the industry, the NBA industry, doesn't no different than Hollywood industry, where things go down behind the scenes through contracts, through pressure. Again, just because it's not said as much because it's the NBA and everybody thinks it's just a sport. But who knows what the players are going through?
Yeah, but there's also players' union and stuff like that. Just like how there's like
actors' unions too.
Yeah. And like human resources or different things that are in place for for workers.
That's what the government's there for.
Yeah. But then again, it's like.
But yeah, I don't know. But yeah, if I guess that would be the simplest way to force compliance on the players.
Mhm.
You know that just like in we were talking about wrestling. You know the what's his name?
Which wrestler? Describe him.
His Owen Hart's brother,
Bret Hart.
Bret Hart. He has a
Yes. Documentary.
documentary,
Mhm.
and there's a couple of scenes where they tell you that he was supposed to win the championship, but then they told him, well, you're gonna lose to Triple H.
Mhm.
Yeah, he signed the contract. NBA could be just like that, You guys are here, we're gonna pay you. You guys gonna play. You guys gonna sign the contract. Then your manager of the whole team signs a contract agreeing to how it's gonna go down.
The coach, yeah.
And then everyone by umbrella is forced to follow.
Well, yeah. I mean, you have the players who have to, of course, listen to the coach. That's what the coach is in place for. But I mean, I guess this goes into like tanking and losing games on purpose to get like certain lottery picks and stuff like that. Because then I guess in that sense, I have somewhat of an understanding and agreement because yes, that does exist in the NBA. If there's a very, very high draft pick player in college or whatever, who's like, the next LeBron James or whatever, and teams can kind of like force their way to where they can hire their odds to be able to get the number one overall pick to get that player, yes, they will go ahead and tank and lose the season, like lose games and stuff like that to hire their odds to be able to get the player. So, I guess you just basically summed it all up.
I guess the thing is,
in certain ways, it is rigged.
How?
Damn it!
I guess the question is, how big do you think the rigging is, or how big do you think it goes, and how deep is you're willing to accept? I guess
that's a rabbit hole that I don't know if I'm willing to go down or accept because I don't care what nobody says. Wrestling is real. People really break their necks,
yes,
breaks their arms, and lose their lives. So
yes,
wrestling is real. It's like this, and I don't mean to kind of like shift it over, but it's like this for all the people who do not believe in COVID. There are people losing their lives from COVID, whether you want to believe it or not. It may not be as significant in what the media is putting out there. It may be an even lower number than what the media is putting out there.
Here's my conspiracy thought about that. You know how every year they tell you, oh, it's flu season, and yes. Nobody asks what the flu shot got. Bam, COVID. And then all of a sudden people are popping, oh, we got COVID. Oh, well, we got a vaccine for that too. Omicron. Oh, shit, we got a vaccine for that too. Delta.
Are they just naming every vaccine after like air flights?
No, the shit that they've been making. That too, But I think that's how they're doing it, if it is. Anyway.
I guess
it doesn't surprise me, because all of a sudden people just pop up randomly everywhere. I'm gonna give you this vaccine that's supposed to have the antibodies, and what the antibodies is, it's the virus itself. So they shoot you with the antivirus.
They shoot you to get sick, so that you can be immune to it.
They shoot it with the flu shot. It comes with the regular flu vaccine. Give you a little taste of Omicron or COVID and whatever.
Oh my gosh, this is taking a turn.
Welcome to the watch list, guys.
And we are definitely going to come back with another one on that last subject. Sorry to cut this short, but I appreciate you for being here. Again, I am your host, Preston, aka SB Press, and if you still need to find me, which you will need to find me, it's at Compadres for Instagram and at SB Press for Snapchat. And yeah, definitely, we will definitely pick up from that last stop next time. Thank you, and see you next time.
I was actually thinking about that the other day when I was going home from